Have you ever wondered why the richest people in the world, billionaires like Warren Buffett or Elon Musk, never show off their luxury cars or wear flashy designer clothes? Meanwhile, millions of people out there are drowning in debt, shopping like crazy just to prove that they have something? I used to be one of them. 20 years ago, I chased the limelight. Nice cars, big houses, expensive clothes. But then I realized a painful truth. The more I showed off, the poorer I became, not only in my pocket, but also in my soul. Today, I will reveal to you 5 reasons why living modestly, even looking poor, is the fastest way to increase your wealth and live a dream life. Get ready, because this could completely change the way you look at money and happiness. Imagine you just bought a new car. The feeling of driving it for the first time is amazing, right? But a few months later, you see your friend driving a better car, and the initial joy fades. Scientists call this the hedonic treadmill. You spend money, you run, but you end up running flat. I experienced this when I started my career in investment banking. I was constantly shopping, Rolex watches, Gucci shoes, the latest phones, all to prove that I was successful. But deep down, I was exhausted, my bank account was empty, and happiness was elusive. Then one day, I decided to stop. I cut back on my luxury spending to the essentials and put the money into learning, developing my skills, and investing in work I was passionate about. 6 months later, I had enough financial freedom to quit my job, giving up a 6-figure bonus without regret. I started traveling, living the way I wanted, and for the first time, I felt truly at peace. When you don't get caught up in the race to show off, you don't just save money, you find yourself. That's true wealth. Think about it. If I gave you a free Lamborghini, you'd be overjoyed, right? But then what? Insurance costs 5 times more than a regular car. Premium gas is expensive. Every tire change costs thousands of dollars, not to mention the repair costs that make you sweat. It's what French philosopher Denis Diderot once called the Diderot effect. A luxury item brings with it a host of other expenses, pushing you into debt without even realizing it. I've seen too many people fall into this trap. Buying a fancy car, then having to buy a bigger house, better clothes to match it. On the other hand, living modestly helps you keep your money in hand. When I was young, I drove an old Honda, lived in a small rental house, and saved most of my income from my part-time job. Thanks to that, I had the capital to buy my first rental house, creating a sustainable passive income stream. A survey shows that 65% of Americans live on a monthly salary with no surplus. But if you just cut out the latest iPhone or designer clothes, save $500 a month, after 1 year, you will have $6,000. Invest that money in stocks with an 8% interest rate /year. 25 years later, you will have more than $500,000. It's that simple, but that's how I built my first fortune. When you don't show off, you will clearly see who is really with you for who you are, not for your wallet. I remember when I was in Hong Kong, I met a guy named Tom. He showed off his gold watch, took the whole group to a 5-star restaurant, then asked to split the bill at the nightclub, $500 each for a night. I was 24 years old, had just quit my job. How could I have the money to play it cool? I said no, went home and thought, showing off only attracts people who like to take advantage of you. On the other hand, when I lived simply, wearing t-shirts, driving cheap cars, I found real friends. They didn't care how much I made. They liked me for the way I thought, the way I lived. An interesting study shows that 25% of Americans have dated for money, and more than half of them lied about their finances to impress. But relationships based on material things never last. Living modestly is the easiest way to filter friends, keeping those who like you for who you are. Did you know that 72% of Americans are stressed about money and 48% of Britons worry about finances every week? When you buy a car that takes up 40% of your income, you put yourself in survival mode, not daring to quit your job, not daring to take risks, not daring to dream big. I once saw a coworker buy a BMW, then work overtime to pay off the debt, all the while stress piled up. But when you keep your expenses low, the bigger the gap between your income and expenses, the more freedom you have. I applied the KonMari philosophy to my finances, keeping only the things that bring me true joy. I cut out luxuries and focused on my health, family, and passions. The result? I had enough money to retire where. Take a break when you need it, invest in new projects, even leave a high-paying job to do what you love. A Toyota is 3 times cheaper to maintain than a BMW, but it gives me flexibility that luxury cars never will. Living simply doesn't just save money, it frees up your life. Finally, remember, wealth is not about a Gucci bag or a $1 million mansion, but about confidence and peace of mind. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he built in 1958, drives a cheap car, not because he's frugal, but because he understands that money is a tool to buy freedom, not to show off. I used to think that a luxury car would make me respected, but then I realized people only admire you when you live up to your values. When I stopped spending to impress, I found happiness in simple things. A dinner with friends, a morning jog, or time doing something I love. Money can't buy genuine admiration, but it can buy time, health, and opportunities, if you use it right. Being humble is not poor, but a smart way to become richer, both in wealth and in life. Dear friends, instead of chasing after false glory, focus on building a meaningful life. Living simply doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It's a way for you to master your money, master your time, and master your happiness. I've been on that journey, from someone chasing after appearances to someone finding true freedom. How about you? Start today. Save a little, invest a little, and be true to yourself. If you find this story inspiring, please share it with your loved ones. Thank you for listening, and see you on the next journey.